Back in December, the Fed delivered exactly what markets expected, a 25 basis point rate cut. And just like history suggested it would, we got our Santa rally. Markets pushed higher into year-end, right on schedule. But while everyone was celebrating the seasonal gains and watching index levels climb, something far bigger was quietly building momentum behind the scenes. IPOs. A lot of them. 21 new public listings launched in that final stretch, from mid-December straight through the first week of January. And that wasn't normal holiday activity. That was a cycle accelerating. That setup got serious investors to lean forward. And for good reason. 2025 turned out to be a breakout year for IPOs, one that blew past every expectation. More than 340 companies went public in the US throughout the year, a massive jump from the prior year's pace. Excluding the chaotic pandemic years of 2020 and 2021, it ended up being the strongest IPO year since 2000. That wasn't noise. That was a complete market shift. What made that December-January stretch especially interesting was the quality of deals that came to market. These weren't speculative moonshots thrown together to test retail appetite. Many of those IPOs were backed by the biggest underwriting names on Wall Street, firms with deep balance sheets, serious reputations, and a track record of backing companies with real staying power. When that level of capital steps in during the holidays, it sends a clear signal. Not a guarantee, but a signal that smart money saw something worth betting on heading into the new year. When you looked at that lineup, it was easy to see why the street was buzzing. One Chicago-based giant debuted with a valuation that reached over $35 billion. This company wasn't flashy. It builds the entire supply chain for hospitals. Gloves, beds, equipment, everything. It priced in the high 20s, and it was exactly the kind of boring but essential business institutions love. On the other end of the spectrum, there was a company out of Ohio that does independent tax, valuation, and financial advisory services to individuals and family offices, businesses, and institutional clients in the US. As of right now, it's valued at $2.8 billion, and stock is up 60% from its offering price from just a few short weeks ago. Layer on top of that a dozen or so additional names across fintech, biotech, and consumer sectors, and you had real diversification. Different industries, different risk profiles, different growth paths, all launching into a market fueled by rate cuts, improving liquidity, and strong holiday spending. The macro backdrop turned supportive at exactly the right time. And when sentiment stayed frothy, those early IPO buyers saw some impressive quick pops. Now here's where we are today. That momentum didn't stop on December 31st. Interest rates are likely to remain steady or go lower this year. The IPO pipeline remains robust, and institutional underwriters are still backing quality deals. As we move deeper into 2026, the setup that created opportunity in 2025 is still very much in play. More filings are dropping. More companies are preparing to go public. And for investors who know how to separate quality from hype, this year could present even bigger opportunities than what we saw at the close of 2025. If you're looking for a smarter way to navigate this ongoing IPO wave, one that filters noise, highlights real setups, and tracks where professional money is flowing, that's exactly what IPO Stream Premium is built for. We tracked every one of those 21 year-end listings. We identified which ones deserved attention and which ones didn't. And now, as new deals line up for 2026, I'll be digging through the filings, breaking down where risk meets reward, and spotting the names that could turn into your next big win. So, while the market debates the Fed's next move and chases momentum, I'll grab a coffee, pull up the prospectuses, and keep doing what worked in December, and has worked time and time again. Finding quality IPOs before the crowd catches on. 2026's most promising listings are coming soon. Be ready.